Hey, so since I found God not long ago, it was like a few months ago, I've been getting a lot of weird dreams, and I don't know if they're prophetic or not, but they do kind of have like that vibe to it. I'm not entirely sure what they mean. I'm still working on communicating and, like figuring out how to better hear God and communicate directly that way. But like, I wanted to share with you guys some of these dreams because I've had 4 different tornado themed dreams in just the last week alone, which is insane. So, I guess I'll list them off. So the first one was like, I was at a mall with friends and stuff, and then went outside into the parking lot to leave, and there was this giant factory out back, like outside, and it was super dark and just cold, and like it was daytime, but you know how it looks like when the sky's just like so black and dark that it was like almost hard to see. It was like that, but you could see the factory in the background. It was like one of those like the smokestacks and stuff, like a nuclear power plant kind of looking factory with like a big building attached to it. And there was a tornado outbreak happening, right? Like it was like we walked outside and it was just like there were like 20 tornadoes going off at the same time around this factory, and they were centered around this factory. And then like the factory itself it looked like either demons or zombies or robots or something coming out of it. So there were a bunch of these, like, I'm just gonna say demons, outside in the parking lot in the distance, and I could see some of our friends and my partner fighting them, like in a like battle with them kind of thing. And so me and my other friends went to help them, and we got in the car, took off, and met with our other friends, took out some zombies or whatever, and like we're having to like weave around like to avoid the tornadoes the whole time. And like our one friend got on a motorcycle, and like he took off, and he ended up peeling and doing a donut thing and somehow caught one of the tornadoes on fire, so it turned into a fire tornado. And like the fire tornado just went and like took out so many zombies. It was like insane, but it was a super cool dream. It was scary, but it was cool because it was like good guys versus bad guys feeling. And like it was just like it had this vibe of like this factory was producing these demonic entities or whatever, and there was just like a storm of tornadoes working to destroy this factory, or it was either that or the factory was making the tornadoes. But either way, the tornado ended up taking out a bunch of zombies too at the same time. So either way, that was an interesting dream, and that was the first one. We ended up making it out okay. So the second one was kind of weird. Like, I was driving around in a place that I used to live back when I was little, and it was like farmland out there, and I went through this farm, and it looked like, like one of those really big mansion houses that's like a farmhouse. It's not like the square kind of house, but like it has like the kind of I don't know, like the fancy looking mansion-y houses. It was like that, and it had these silos and stuff attached to it that looked like it might have been a milk farm or like a egg farm or it was some kind of farm like that. And I was driving through there, and then like the weather turned bad, as it happens in our dreams like half the time, and a tornado outbreak happened again with like one giant main tornado and a bunch of little ones with it. And the tornadoes came out and ended up like steamrolling over this building and like the whatever farm thing it was, and like just destroyed it. And like I managed to get away from that one too, and like this one was weird though, because like for some reason the tornadoes, like after doing that, just kind of like fell over, which is really odd for tornadoes. So they fell over. They were still like obviously tornadoes, but they were on the ground, and one of them was close enough to me that I saw like these little black things in the tornado. Like I couldn't tell entirely what the little black things were. Like they had kind of the vibe of being like magnets or something. I thought like it might have been like nanobots or something or other. I don't know. But it was like little black things in it that was like kind of making the tornado, and it kind of had the vibe that one was artificial, like not a natural tornado, I guess. And so that was that one. And then the third one ended up being another factory thing, but it looked like one of those like oil refinery type deals, like a lot of pipes and stuff. And I think I'd seen that factory in a dream before, actually, but this time I was there, and there were a bunch of other people there that were like, they were working there, I think, and it caught on fire, and the factory kind of like exploded, and it caused everyone to panic. And then there was like a big tornado that showed up and like went through it and destroyed the rest of it. And the tornado was kind of like chasing some random people around and stuff. And I remember I went and jumped into a nearby lake or pond or whatever, into the water. And because I was in the water, I was safe somehow. Like the tornado couldn't get me or wasn't sucking me up or whatever like it was the other ones. And I don't know, that one just, it had another Destructo vibe to it. It was kind of short though. The fourth, that one was kind of, it was funny because like at that point, like even though I was sleeping, I was just aware enough that I was just like, oh, of course there's tornadoes again. So like I was at this house, and it was a big mansion house again, or maybe it was a school or something, but it was a big building, and I was like going towards it, and there was a giant outbreak of tornadoes that happened again. You could see them like as far as you could look. There was a bunch of tornadoes, and like I went to go in this building, and there were like 2 tornadoes that formed like on either side of the building, and they were chasing people around. And I was just like, again with the tornadoes, like of course they're chasing people. Like this is like, at this point it was just in my mind that I'm just like, yeah, I've seen this like 50 times this week, but okay. And then like I'm just like avoiding them, and I go in this mansion, and I find a room in there, and it seems to be a safe room because the tornado came and like broke down into part of the building and was like getting people, but they couldn't get to me there. And there was, I think that it was like a giant or something that was banging with like a club or whatever on the giant door of the mansion, was like beating it in kind of thing. And it reminded me of like the Nephilim or giants or something. But like that was scary. There was somebody looking for me that looked like, I don't know, this lady that was like kind of creepy, and she couldn't find me or anything though, so it was okay. I got out of that one again. And it was just like that. I think I woke up after that, but it had, like, from my observations about these dreams, I think they might be indicating different aspects of the world that are under attack or will be under attack, either by God directly or by the enemy, maybe, like, or the people behind the scenes doing shady stuff. Like, it had like the vibes that maybe like the food industry is gonna get hit, and like maybe power plants, like maybe that's like the power grid's gonna get affected or something, or I don't know. It could have been taken either way, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm just glad that I managed to make it out each time. it kind of felt like being shown these things, and I was just unfortunately placed in the middle of it and had to get out of it. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I really feel like the end times are upon us. Like, not to sound cliche, but just everything is so chaotic and bad in the world right now, and there's so much shady stuff going on, and so many signs, like, in the, like, sky and whatever, like space and everything going on. It's like really weird timing. So I feel like the end times are at least close and that this is some kind of maybe indication of what's going to happen. So take this as you will. Maybe let me know what you think, and yeah, just stay safe. Please repent. Please seek God. Get to know Him. Talk to Him. Like, don't just be one of those people that goes to church and doesn't, where it's just like a label for you instead of actually, a relationship with God. Like, because that's, defeating the purpose. So don't be one of those, and repent, repent, repent. Make sure you're right, just in case, because, I feel like the rapture or end times could be any day now, honestly. And it's just, get right, get right, get right, repent, get right. Let me know in the comments what you make of the dream, or if you have had any similar sort of things like that. And yeah, so later.